Hello everyone. Today I have a story for you. A story about a man who never argued, never defended himself, and never raised his voice, even when the whole village turned against him. By the end of this story, you will understand why silence can be more powerful than any argument you could ever win. There was a small village resting between two hills, with narrow stone paths and a quiet marketplace where everyone knew everyone. In that village lived a man named Devin. He ran a small shop selling oil and grain, and he was known for one unusual thing. No matter what anyone said to him, Devin never argued back. People found this strange. If someone shouted at him over the price of oil, Devin simply nodded and adjusted the scale. If someone blamed him for something he did not do, he stayed quiet and continued his work. Some villagers respected this. Others mocked him for it. "He has no spine," they would whisper. "He is too weak to even defend himself." Devin heard these words every single day, but he never replied. Inside, though, his heart was not as calm as his face. Every insult landed somewhere deep. Every accusation stung. He often returned home at night and sat alone, wondering if his silence made him a coward. One afternoon, a wealthy merchant named Kabir arrived in the village. Kabir was loud, clever with words, and enjoyed proving people wrong in front of crowds. He found Devin's silence amusing and decided to test him. In the middle of the marketplace, Kabir accused Devin of cheating his customers, mixing stones into the grain to make it heavier. It was a complete lie, but Kabir said it loudly, and a crowd gathered to watch. Devin felt his face grow hot. His hands trembled slightly behind the counter. Every instinct told him to shout back, to defend his name, to prove the accusation false. But he said nothing. He simply continued weighing grain for the next customer as if nothing had happened. Kabir laughed and walked away, certain he had embarrassed Devin in front of everyone. That evening, an old traveler passed through the village and stopped at Devin's shop to buy oil for his lamp. He had witnessed the entire scene in the marketplace. "Why did you not defend yourself?" the traveler asked. "Everyone heard that lie, and you let it stand." Devin was quiet for a moment, then said honestly, "I wanted to. My whole body wanted to shout back. But I was afraid that if I argued, I would become like him, loud and desperate to be right." The traveler studied him carefully, then said, "Tomorrow, do something for me. For one full day, do not defend yourself against anything anyone says. Not because you are weak, but because you are choosing where your energy goes. Watch what happens, not to them, but to you." Devin agreed, though he did not understand the purpose of the test. The next morning, the marketplace was already buzzing with Kabir's story from the day before. People glanced at Devin, some with pity, some with suspicion. A neighbor accused him of overcharging. A customer questioned his honesty. Children repeated rumors they did not understand. Devin said nothing to any of it. He simply did his work, one task at a time, his hands steady on the scale, his breath slow and even. By midday, something strange began to happen. The insults that once felt like blows now felt distant, like noise from another street. Devin noticed that each time he chose not to respond, a small part of him grew calmer. The argument that never started could never be lost. The energy he once spent defending himself, he now spent simply living. In the afternoon, Kabir returned, expecting another opportunity to provoke him. He repeated his accusation louder this time, hoping for a reaction. But Devin only looked at him with a calm, steady gaze and said nothing at all. The silence stretched long enough that the crowd grew uncomfortable, not with Devin, but with Kabir. Without an argument to win, Kabir's words had nowhere to land. He stood there, suddenly looking smaller than before, and eventually walked away without another word. That evening, the traveler returned. "How do you feel?" he asked. Devin thought carefully before answering. "Lighter," he said. "I expected silence to feel like losing. Instead, it felt like I finally stopped fighting a war that was never mine to fight." The traveler smiled. That is the secret almost no one learns. Silence is not surrender. Silence is choosing not to hand your peace to someone who never deserved it. Every argument you refuse to join is energy you keep for your own life. "But people will think I have no answer," Devin said. "Let them think that," the traveler replied. "The ones who matter will eventually see your actions, and the ones who do not matter were never worth your words in the first place." From that day forward, Devin changed, not by becoming colder or more distant, but by becoming steadier. When accusations came, he answered with patience instead of panic. When insults came, he let them pass like wind through an open window. Slowly, the village noticed something. The man they once mocked for being weak was the calmest person among them, even in the middle of conflict. Months later, the truth about the grain accusation came out on its own. A worker confessed that Kabir had spread the lie out of jealousy over a trade deal. The villagers who had doubted Devin came to apologize. He accepted their apology simply, without bitterness, because he had never carried the argument in the first place. If you have ever been provoked, insulted, or blamed unfairly, remember Devin's story. You do not have to win every argument to keep your dignity. Sometimes the strongest response is the one you never give. Silence is not weakness. Silence is the quiet decision to keep your power where it belongs, with you.